Introduction. Stop comparing yourself to others, a powerful story that will change your life forever. Have you ever wondered why, despite all your efforts, you still feel insecure or inadequate? Do you ever look at someone else and think, why can't I be like them? The constant comparison to others can be overwhelming, and it's something many of us struggle with daily. But what if I told you that this habit of comparing yourself to others is actually stealing your peace and joy? In today's story, I'll share with you the journey of a young man named Ethan. His life was filled with comparisons and discontent, until he learned a powerful lesson that changed everything. A lesson from Buddhism that teaches us, each person has their unique path and journey, and true happiness comes when we stop measuring our lives against others. Before we dive into the story, let me take a moment to introduce myself and the channel. Welcome to Buddhist Motivation, a space where we explore profound teachings, personal growth, and how Buddhist wisdom can guide us to live a more peaceful and fulfilling life. I personally believe that comparing ourselves to others can only hold us back. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses, and embracing who we truly are is the key to unlocking our fullest potential. This story will show you why it's time to stop comparing and start focusing on your own journey. But before we go any further, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support is the motivation that drives me to create more insightful content for you. The main story. Ethan lived a modest life as the son of a farmer, working long hours in the fields. Despite his efforts, he never felt truly satisfied. He would look at his friend Lucas, who always excelled academically, and think, why can't I be as smart as him? He would look at his neighbor Sophie, a successful businesswoman, and wonder, why can't I be as wealthy as she is? And when he saw athletes running with grace, he felt a pang of jealousy, thinking, why can't I run that fast? The more he compared himself to others, the more disheartened he became. One day, a wise Buddhist monk named Bhante Tenzin came to the village. Known for his profound teachings on mindfulness and living a life of balance, Bhante Tenzin was beloved by all. Ethan, feeling lost and desperate, went to seek the monk's guidance. He shared his frustrations. Bhante, no matter how hard I work, I always feel like I'm not enough. I look at everyone around me and think I'll never measure up. How do I stop this feeling? Bhante Tenzin smiled kindly and replied, meet me tomorrow morning by the temple's lotus pond, and I will show you the way. The following morning, Ethan arrived at the pond, where Bhante Tenzin was already waiting. The monk said, Ethan, what do you see around you? Ethan looked around and replied, I see the lotus flowers blooming beautifully, and the pond is calm. Bhante Tenzin nodded and asked, do you notice how the lotus grows in muddy water, yet it rises above the surface, blooming with beauty and grace? The lotus does not compare itself to the water, nor does it wish to be like the tree by the shore. It simply grows where it is planted. Ethan listened intently, and Bhante Tenzin continued, like the lotus, each person has their own environment, their own path. If you keep comparing yourself to others, you will miss the beauty of your own growth. Ethan felt a shift in his heart. The monk's words began to sink in, but there was still a lingering doubt. Bhante Tenzin then took Ethan to a nearby mountain and showed him a small, solitary stone nestled among the rocks. This stone, the monk said, has never compared itself to the towering peaks around it. Yet, it holds its place with quiet strength. It does not need to be the tallest mountain to be valuable. Ethan reflected on the words of the monk. He began to understand that comparing himself to others only took away his peace. He started to focus on his own strengths and abilities, accepting that his journey was unique. A second story to illustrate the point. Let me tell you another story about a woman named Sarah. Sarah was a professional violinist, highly respected in her community. Yet, despite her success, she struggled with a feeling that she wasn't good enough. She would constantly compare herself to other musicians, particularly to a renowned violinist named Olivia, who had been playing since a young age and had a massive following. Sarah felt she could never reach Olivia's level of fame and skill. One day, during a meditation retreat, Sarah had an epiphany. She had always focused on what she didn't have, the years of practice Olivia had, the fame she lacked, the opportunities that seemed to pass her by. But as she meditated, Sarah realized something profound. She had spent so much time comparing herself to Olivia that she hadn't truly connected with her own passion for music. She had neglected the joy she felt when playing for herself, rather than for the approval of others. Sarah returned to her violin with a new perspective. She stopped trying to be someone else and started embracing her own journey. She began playing for the love of the music, rather than chasing fame or recognition. Over time, her music became even more powerful, as it was filled with genuine emotion and authenticity. She soon became recognized, not because she imitated others, but because she embraced her own unique style and voice. Conclusion. So, what have we learned from Ethan's story? The true lesson here is that comparison only leads to frustration and missed opportunities. Just like the lotus that rises from the muddy waters, we too can grow and thrive in our own unique way. Remember, we don't need to be someone else to be happy or successful. Your journey is your own, and it's time to embrace it fully. I hope this story has inspired you to stop comparing yourself to others and start recognizing the power and value in your own path. As Buddha taught, the path to peace comes from within. When we let go of comparison, we open ourselves to the true joy and fulfillment that comes from being our authentic selves. Thank you for joining me today on Buddhist Motivation. If you found this story helpful, please leave a comment below sharing your thoughts or experiences with overcoming comparison. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected, and I look forward to having you with me in the next video as we explore more teachings and stories that can help guide us to a better life. Stay tuned, stay mindful, and remember, your path is unique, and it is beautiful just as it is.